Now, this is what I say to myself, okay? I say to myself, Carrie, you would have to be a real sucker to believe that our government had no idea that we were being visited by aliens until just recently. And they're like, oh, yeah, we just realized that all these things that everybody been seeing for the last few hundred years, yeah, those really are aliens. And yeah, they have advanced technologies. That's what it is, sure. I'd have to be a sucker to believe that, knowing what I know, and if you know, you know, that the world governments have had technologies far beyond anything we know about. Many, 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 many years in advance from the technologies that we have. And I'm supposed to believe that they just got their Space Force all set up and then suddenly went, hey, we're going to be invaded by aliens. You know, Reagan was talking about this years ago. It's like, we should do a Star Wars thing where, in case we have some kind of alien threat. He was prepping everyone for that, to plant the seed in everyone's mind that there could be aliens and we need to protect ourselves. Because when you look up in the sky and you see Starlink, things like that, which I saw years before Elon Musk supposedly created Starlink. I have a video proving it on YouTube. I said, look, there's this weird line of stars that was captured on Google Sky. And I analyzed it and showed everybody. And I have like, I don't know, 1 million views or something. I'm not sure. But, you know, then we're supposed to believe that Starlink, all these little dots in the sky that we're seeing, Elon Musk did that? I don't think so. We're supposed to believe that aliens traveled billions of light years across the universe just to come here, which apparently we're told is a little tiny speck, little tiny spinning water ball. They came all that way just to come here, and they happen to be relatively the same size as humans. What a coincidence. And they show up just when we get our Space Force and we can have protect ourselves from the evil aliens? Yeah. I'd have to be I don't want to be hard on myself, but I'd have to be, let's just say, naive to believe something like that. So call me cynical, but I consider myself a realist, believe it or not. When I talk about the true model of the world being a primer field and not a tiny little water ball spinning in the infinite space, that doesn't happen to evaporate either, even though there's a massive star nearby that warms the planet exactly enough for us to survive. Just because I don't believe that, and I believe that we're in a primer field, which has a plane of inertia at the bottom of the donut-shaped Taurus field. At the bottom of the donut is a circular flat plane, right? Everybody's had a donut before, right? Well, imagine that it's plasma and not dough. And everything coalesces at the bottom, given the fact that the atmosphere is made of a specific medium. Otherwise, density and buoyancy are relative. So heavy things don't necessarily move down if they're in the proper medium. So call me crazy, but that's what I believe because I'm logical. So I also would have to believe that this is not a random disclosure because they just realized that there are aliens. I believe this is a controlled disclosure because humans in general have realized that they're using these advanced technologies and they've got to explain that somehow. Oh, yeah, it's aliens. It's not us, it's the aliens, see? So, is this all coincidence? I think not. I tend to believe that there are otherworldly beings all around us, obviously in the oceans, in the sky, plasma beings, crazy beings under the ocean that we don't even know about. But there are highly intelligent beings other than humans that exist in the outer realms of the donut. There are outer donuts within donuts like nesting dolls. If you study primer fields, you would know that and you would understand what I'm talking about. So what's the bottom line? I would say don't fall for this and believe that the aliens are just showing up and there's good aliens and bad aliens and they're going to go to war. And then we have to seek our savior to save us from this war, right? It has to happen on a global scale because humans are waking up collectively all around the world. And so you can't just, you have to have a way to control that. You can't just have a war the way we used to have wars. It has to be an alien threat to the entire world. You see how that works? If you understand this, you should spread this message as far and as wide as you possibly can, because there are still people out there right now who literally believe when they're looking up in the sky and they're seeing orbs that look like reflections of the sun or spaceships or things like that. They seriously believe that the aliens have come here to either save us or destroy us. Now, I'm not saying there are no advanced beings that are trying to help us, because I don't know. And I'm not saying there aren't any beings that are trying to destroy us. But humans are trying to destroy themselves. Humans are their own worst enemy. We don't need to be afraid of any other enemy except human beings. Okay? Ultimately, our salvation is within us. This is what we were told by the great masters. It doesn't matter what religion you are. That's the message, that you are your own salvation, because you're the one that has to make the choice to be at peace and be compassionate and logical and have intuition and reason. It's not that fucking complicated.